Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at not one but two spells out of the player's handbook, Wall of Ice and Ice Storm. They're very related spells. Obviously, they're both dealing with ice, but they're very related. Fourth level MU spells, and I'm going to explain exactly how when I go through the each spell. Also, quick reminder, subscribers, please do. Want to keep the channel growing, keep it going. Also, Patreon. Please take a look at Patreon. If there's anything you can do to help out, that would be fantastic. I'm looking to get some new equipment, but right now I'm not able to swing it. If there's anything you could do to help, that would be great. Also, Jump Point. Jump Point is happening very soon. Please take a look at the link below for Jump Point. We're running AD&D First Edition and Traveler Mongoose Second Edition. We have room for 8 people in each game. If you are coming, please leave a comment either in this video or in the Jump Point video to let us know, just so we get an idea of how many people are coming. If you're interested in DMing or GMing, please let me know. I'll have a scenario written. You can just go ahead and run it. Back to the important stuff. Out of the player's handbook, Wall of Ice and Ice Storm, today on page 121. Okay, we're going to take a look at Ice Storm and Wall of Ice. Fourth level MU spells. Ice Storm starts on page 77. Ice Storm, fourth level spell, range is 10 feet per level. Duration is 1 round. Area of effect is special. Verbal, somatic, and material components required to cast. 4-segment casting time with no saving throw. When this spell is cast, the magic user causes either great hailstones to pound down in an area of 40-foot diameter and inflict from 3 to 30 hit points of damage to any creatures within the area of effect. Or the ice storm can be made to cause driving sleet to fall in the area 8-inch diameter and both blind creatures within the area of effect for the duration of the spell and cause the ground in the area to be icy, thus slowing movement within by 50% and making it 50% probable that a moving creature will slip and fall when trying to move. The material components of this spell are a pinch of dust and a few drops of water. Note that this spell will negate a heat metal spell, but its first application will also cause damage in the process. So a couple nice things about the Ice Storm spell. Only a 4-segment casting time, 40-foot diameter, so it's good area of effect, 3 to 30 points of damage. And it takes 1 round duration. So these hailstones are pounding down on your opponents for 30 or for a full round. So it's not just a wham, they all drop on you and you're done. They're pelting your opponents for quite a while. That is pretty good. And if as I DM this, usually I will say that the creatures within are busy trying to cover themselves so they don't get harmed, so they really can't proceed forward. They can't really do much of anything else other than get pummeled by the stones. 3 to 30 damage is good. We did actually increase that in Earth's Opus Omnibus, the little house rules book I wrote years ago. I did increase the damage for the Ice Storm from 3 to 30 to 4 to 40. 3 die 10 sounds like great damage, but I've seen it come up as low as 5 points. And that's really disappointing if you've been hanging on to this spell and you couldn't wait to throw it. Having been the guy who threw the 5 points, it is disappointing as can be. Granted, you got, 6-7 monsters in there and they all took 5 points of damage. Okay, wow. That's still pretty pathetic, unfortunately. So we did up it to 4 to 40. You could still roll really low. I realized that. We left it at die 10. But 3 die 10 should have averaged somewhere around 18 to 20 points of damage. So 4 die 10 is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 24, 26 points of damage, something like that. It was just a little bit of boost to the spell. It is a 4th level spell. I just felt it needed a little pick-me-up, if you will. And no saving throw, of course, is wonderful. And magic resistance does not apply because you're being pounded by the stones. So even if you have that heavy magic resistance creature, it's not going to matter. He won't get MR against this. Now, a related spell to this is the ever wonderful Wall of Ice, down here on page 78. Also a 4th level spell. 1-inch range per level, so 10 feet per level. And you have to be minimum 7th level to cast this. Duration is 1 turn per level. Area of effect is special. Components are verbal, somatic, and material. Casting time is 4 segments. Saving throw is none. When this spell is cast, a sheet of strong, flexible ice is created. The wall is primarily defensive, stopping pursuers and the like. The wall is 1 inch thick per level of experience of the magic user, so it'd be 7 inches thick. The minimum to cast it. It covers 10-foot square area per level, i.e. a 10th level magic user would cause a wall of ice 10 inches long by 1 foot high or 5 foot long by 2 foot high, and so forth. Any creature breaking through the wall of ice will suffer 2 points of damage per inch of thickness of the ice. Fire-using creatures suffer 3 points of damage. Cold-using only take 1 point of damage. If the spell is cast in the form of a horizontal sheet to fall upon opponents, it has the same effect as an ice storm's hailstones in the area over which this falls. Magical fires such as fireballs, dragon breaths will melt a wall of ice in 1 round, though they will cause a great cloud of steamy fog which lasts 1 turn. Normal fires and lesser magical fires will not hasten its melting. The material component of this spell is a small piece of quartz or similar rock crystal. So some stuff to unpack out of this. You can create your nice little wall of ice, which could be 50 feet long by 20 foot high at 10th level, which is very formidable. You can go ahead and you can plug a nice dungeon corridor with that, which is really what it was intended for, but also works outside, makes the creatures go around, or if you're looking to block off that cave entrance, this is a good spell with which to do it. Anybody that just tries to smash through this thing at 10th level, say you cast it at 10th level, would be taking 20 points of damage for their efforts to smash through it. That's not inconsiderable, with no saving throw. Also, the spell has the versatility that I can cast it horizontally in the air, and it'll fall down and pelt my opponents just like an ice storm spell. So it does kind of beg the question, why bother taking an ice storm spell when you could take wall of ice and use 2 uses out of it? And the answer for the ice storm spell is if you want to use the ice storm as a way to be sleet and slow your opponents down by 50% movement and such. I've seen it used this way a couple of times. Overwhelmingly, it's used as a damage form, but once in a while, you will see a player go ahead and cast it where it'll cause the creatures to be blinded and slowed, just to help players get away from either in a dungeon area or in a wilderness setting, especially important if they're stride horses. Because if you have horses running full tilt and they hit a sudden ice storm of patchy ice and such, I absolutely roll to see if the horses fall, or and if the horses fall, of course, the rider takes damage, the horse takes damage, and it disrupts the entire thing. And this lasts for a full round, so the horses are going to be stumbling around. It's going to take your opponent a little while to chase you. So I have seen it used as the freezing high ice form a couple of times, but overwhelmingly it's used as the damage form. So I have found when I play an MU that I might take 1 ice storm spell, but we allow up to 3 of a spell to be taken. And if I have other slots available and I want to use the wall of ice, I'm absolutely going to take 1 or 2 wall of ice. That way I have the option to use it as a wall, or I have it to use it as the spell as the ice storm spell, at least the battering version. So it's pretty nice to have both versions of the spell in the wall of ice, but you also have 2 versions of the same spell in the ice storm spell. So you have to make some choices there. But that's what D&D is all about. D&D is about choices. So let me know what you think. I love the ice storm spell. I've always used it. I couldn't wait when I was a lower level magic user struggling to get my levels. I was really excited about getting to 4th level and having access to some of those great spells, including Ice Storm and Wall of Ice. But that's all I've got today for page 121. I hope you liked what you heard and saw. If you did, please like and subscribe. Please leave any comments below, and I'll see you next time.